It's time to burn your to-do list. Time is our most precious asset. You can't get more of it, and everyone on the planet has the same amount of it. It's kind of crazy to think of it that way. What you decide to do with your time is completely up to you. It may not seem like that, but it's true. Probably one of the reasons that you're watching this video right now is you're not making the most out of the time that you have. You know it, and you're kind of beating yourself up about it, and you want to learn what it actually means to do something about it. You wish you were accomplishing more, and the really great news about this is you have all the time that you need if you want to accomplish more. Today I want to share with you the time management tips that have completely changed my life, allowed me to get a lot more done in a shorter amount of time, or at least get as focused as possible in the time that I am allotted in order to accomplish more. So you want to get more done. People are not magical. They are not born productive. None of us are really born productive. It's a culture. And that instant change cannot happen until you make that big first step that's critical to this process, and that is your mindset shift. What does that mean? That's like super buzzy. People are talking about that mindset shift all the time. Like, what does that actually mean? Well, first you kind of need to look at how you ask questions right now. If you're asking questions like, why should I wake up early? Why do I need to use a calendar? What's the importance of planning ahead? You're probably not in the space right now to get more productive because you're holding yourself up with the mindset that you currently have as to what the point of that would be anyway. The people that have made that mindset shift are less likely to ask, should I wake up early in the morning? And are more likely to ask, how much time do I have in the morning before my first appointment to myself that I can get things done? Or maybe they're asking, when should I schedule my workouts this week? Or how about, what can I do in this 30-minute pocket of time between dropping the kids off and going to the next thing? When you're questioning why you would go ahead of the curve, why you would plan ahead, why all of those things are important, you're not as likely to be able to make that instant change because you don't see the value in time the way somebody who understands what it means to be productive, not for the sake of saying the word is, but because of how much they're able to get done, and they see every moment in time as a very valuable asset, as a vehicle to move forward. So you'll really know when you've had this mindset shift, when you start to reframe your questions, when you start to notice yourself moving in that direction. If you feel that shift, if you're there, then we can move forward. And I'm so excited about that because now it's time for you to use your calendar. I don't care if your calendar is on the refrigerator, on your desktop, in your bullet journal, on your phone, it does not matter. You need to use it. I like to quote Peter Drucker in this case because if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. The calendar is where you're going to plan and track your time. This is the best place to do it because it's quite literally a list of all of the hours in the day that you have and how much of it you can use and how much of it you should be sleeping, how much you've given away to other people. You have to be able to analyze it and look at it so that when you see that 2 hour, let's be real, maybe it's 3 or 4 hours of time that you spent in the evening after work, vegging out in front of the TV and Instagram stalking, you have to fully take that in because you are typing it in or writing it down as something you did for 2 to 3 to 4 hours. Tomorrow, when you're tracking your time, you're probably going to think to yourself, what could I have done in that amount of time yesterday that I could do instead today? Is it finish the laundry? Is it write a blog post? Is it search for a new job? Even taking an hour out of that chunk of time and doing something more productive with it moves you so much further ahead, and then you still get the enjoyment of the scroll. So meanwhile, you probably have this other tactic that hasn't really been working for you, the to-do list, which is actually, in my opinion, called the should-do list, and you know how I feel about shoulding all over yourself. That list is staring you in the face, not becoming a reality, but more guilt-tripping you on the things that you're not doing, which is just not productive all on its own because you're just beating yourself up over it. The goal here is to take that to-do list, if that is an easy way for you to track things that you have to get done, fine, into time, into real spaces of time that you can work and get it done. And hopefully in a short amount of time, because just looking at it is taking longer than probably achieving a lot of this stuff. So I understand that it can be a little bit difficult to listen to me and go, yeah, sure, I'm just gonna block out my time and follow it verbatim. When the reality is, how can you be more strict and more rigid with your time when you have kids who tend to make your life a little bit more of a variable, which although is not a part of my personal life at this point in time, is absolutely something I can understand that you would be grappling with and may be one of those mindset barriers that's holding you back. But what if we could just call children that urgency in your life that could happen to anyone, like someone's boss taking somebody out of a project and saying this is more important. Or maybe somebody has a client and they don't show up for their session because they don't feel like it today, but you planned on it and now all of a sudden you have this gaping hole of time that you didn't apply for something else. Planning your time is never going to be perfect, but planning on these moments that are variable, that move around, is so vital for you being able to swoop in that moment and be able to move things around. Time management that works is simply being acutely aware of the time that you have and the things you got to get done. And we all have it. We can all find it somewhere. It's just a matter of how. And keeping track of it with your calendar.